guys, welcome to Win the Day. I am Tanika D'Souza, the 100K Challenge Chick. My mission is to empower more women entrepreneurs to break the 100K income ceiling in their businesses. So I am a business coach. I coach people every single day to really dig in and to take that hard examination of what they're doing to really make sure that they are customizing their entrepreneurial journey. So that's what I believe in. Today, we're going to hit a topic that totally fits with my coaching style, right? If you are not aware of what you want long term, then that is why you allow your business or your job or any current activities to take up so much space and room in your life, or that you allow it to be so chaotic because you don't have a realistic idea of your expectations for the future. So today we're talking about what are your real life goals, right? And then what you're actually doing to get there. So if anybody ever talks to me about real life goals, of course, if I ask you as your business coach, people go like all in or like the money or the bit, like what they see as the business. But I'm talking about your life. Like, what do you want your life to look like? And when I'm talking like long term, I'm definitely talking more like that 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Even consider like, how is your life going to be different at that point? And what do you need to put in place now so that you can enjoy that part of your life, or you can enjoy your future? So if you guys are joining me live on Facebook, welcome. But I want to hear what some of these life goals are. Like, what are some of the things you're striving to have maybe 5 or 10 years from now that you would benefit greatly if you put a plan in place for it now? So drop that in the chat if you're joining me live. And if you are joining me on YouTube, welcome. I love my YouTube subscribers, and also all of you listening on podcast. The podcast is just growing. It's 100K Challenge Chick, and you can find it anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So good morning and welcome wherever you guys are tuning in. So for my Facebook, I want you guys to be writing me back and letting me know what you're doing. But when you talk about like real goals, right? So one, there is a reason why I want to make money. There is a reason why I want to build my business, but that's to support the goals that I have. And for me, I want to retire while I'm still fairly young. So for me, that equals before 50. I want to be active with my kids as they grow older. So I have my youngest child entering high school. So I have 4 more years of them like being like actually in the nest, but I really want to be there when they go to college. My son is a football quarterback. He anticipates playing college football and possibly the pros. His quarterback trainer has trained other NFL athletes, including first draft picks, right? So first round draft picks. So the possibility is there, and I don't want to be stuck like in a job or even in a business that would not allow me to fly wherever my son is playing, so I can be there with his jersey number and all that stuff on, just being like a super crazy sports mom. Like that to me is like the ultimate thing. My girls, I have my oldest daughter, she's in the fashion industry. She is like revolutionizing how you think about fashion and sustainability. So she's doing fashion shows. She's like working with different design companies. So she always has something for us to do. And I foresee that she's going to do a lot more of it internationally. She did that while she was in college, but I didn't go with her, or I couldn't go because she was doing shorter stints. But I imagine she might live somewhere for a few years or go there to work on a project with a company. And I want to be able to visit. My youngest daughter has aspirations to go to college in Australia, right? So it's not really that I'm trying to just give you, my life story and like what my kids are doing, but I don't want to be the parent that they are living their best life and I am totally just stuck in the one house that I bought when I was 20 something and I never moved and I was never willing to just get up and relocate. I totally want a work from anywhere type of life. I want to be able to run my businesses and have a lot of it run on autopilot. I am being coached by people who literally have their businesses on autopilot and they just show up like for my coaching sessions, like they show up for very few things and everything else they either have team in place, it's autopilot, whatever else. So I have awesome examples that this is totally possible. And now that's what I want for myself. So, what are some of the real life goals that you have? A lot of things that people put also revolve around like travel. Do you want to see the world? Do you, is there a certain type of lifestyle? So I shared mine, like I want the work from anywhere life. Maybe you just want to be home, like you're more of a homebody, or maybe you want to live in two different places. Whatever your industry is, might have really booming locations in two different areas, two different countries, and you want the flexibility to be able to be there in both. Other things that you may be kind of striving for is having a really great marriage. What does that look like for you, right? And really being able to enjoy your family. At my age, I am in the 40 category, and we are all faced with the fact that, we're getting older and our kids are growing up, but so are our parents, right? So how do you want to interact with your parents? Are you looking forward to spending more time with them? Are you looking to make sure that they have like the best accommodations ever because they really want the retirement living, or that kind of lifestyle? Like, and then there's degrees to that, right? So there's a lot on your plate as you approach that like 40-ish mark, like late 30s, all the way through the mid 40s is just a really interesting time. And I think that is where you absolutely have to be really clear about what you want in your life, because the time, I swear, when I was 20, I don't like to swear actually, but when I was 20, it felt like the years were just like so long and I had so many things I could do and all these options. And now I feel like I wake up in January, I start planning out the year, and then I focus in, it's June already. And then before you know it, we're in holiday season for that year and planning for the next year. It feels like time is just like slipping, right? So I do want to realistically think about like, what is it that I really want? Like, why am I doing all this? Right? So if you guys are joining me live and you've thought of some things that you really want for yourself as far as life goals, right? Then I want you to drop it in the chat, or like this, love it, share it with other people that need to have a little more focus around the things that they're doing. So if you're considering like, well, what category should I be thinking about as I am breaking down like what I really want for life goals, you can think about these few categories. You can think about family, friendships, finances, faith, and fitness. And another way to think about this is health, wealth, and relationships. That just kind of sums it all up in 3 categories. The thing I don't like about the health, wealth, and relationships is some people don't really dive deep into like their friendships versus their family. And to me, when you say family, I think of like my house, like my kids and my husband, and then the rest of my family, which would include like my parents, siblings, nieces, nephews, cousins, all of that. Like you likely have a goal of how you want to show up as an auntie, how you want to show up eventually as a grandparent. So write that down, right? Because you have to find ways to start shaping your life so that you can get there. The reason why I didn't focus as much on the money is because as a business coach, that's absolutely what I do with people all the time. But what I find is if they really had some concrete life goals, then talking about the money isn't just about the money. It's about achieving that goal, right? I share with you guys that my son wants to play college football. So I need to be able to fly. I need to get his schedule, make my flights, or be at his school. I don't have a clue where he's going to go to school. So I need to be able to show up to some college football games, right? And I don't want to create a business or a life that ties me to one location and doesn't allow me to do that. That would totally break my heart. Like I would feel terrible if I was just watching my son's schedule year after year and not able to show up. When my daughter was in college, she was running fashion shows. And so she would literally say, okay, here are the fashion shows, here are the plays. She did costume design for plays. And I would try to make it to as many as I could. And that was awesome. Like that was so gratifying because here it is, this child that I raised, like really working in their zone of genius, in their element, and just fully being themselves. Like that's like a huge proud mommy moment, right? So I don't want to miss those. I don't want to miss those just because they're older and in a different part of the country. Or in the case of my youngest child, she wants to be in Australia and I am in Washington, D.C. Okay. That's like over a 12-hour flight. I got to look at it, but it's going to take me most of a day to travel to Australia. So if she has her way, which I hope she does, she's going to college in Australia. So when I think about my lifestyle, that's what I think about. I think about my future. I think about what I want it to look like. I think about the type of home that I want to have. Like, do I still want to have a large enough home that all three of my kids can come back, maybe with their spouses, maybe with their kids, and there's room enough for everybody? Or do I want to now like live more like city condo? So my husband and I are torn because he's absolutely city condo, just rent an Airbnb when the kids come in town. And I'm just like, no, I want to build memories in my house and all of that. So we'll figure that part out. But the reality is I understand that I still want to accommodate for my family and be very involved. And so that informs some of the decisions that I'm going to make right now. And that's what I want you guys to start doing, is to take a realistic look at what you want and start putting some things in place that are going to help you get there. So I am going to do a shout out to Robin, the Strategic Motivator Show. She is why I had this awesome, the 5 points, because I'm actually taking a class with her to really evaluate. So she made me start with like, what are your goals? And it's so funny because as a business coach, I know I probably do this to other people and people definitely do it to me, but they just say, oh, what business are you running? What are you doing with the business? Like, how is, they just want to know about the business and how it's growing. And she was like, no, like we're going to start with the real reason you're even running the business. And it was refreshing. It was nice to take a step back and to write those things down, because then it made it more realistic. And even for me, like my faith is super important, and making sure that I'm constantly doing something to be spiritually developed is really, really important to me. And so she made me kind of realize, like, long term, what do you want to do in this area? Like, what are you preparing now so that you can continue to have what you call success in these different areas of your life? So shout out to Robin, the Strategic Motivator Show. I appreciate you because you see, it's like causing me to think, and I did my assignment. So I'm also getting brownie points right now, you guys. Check. I'm going to be like head of the class student. I'm so corny like that. But the thing that I want you to consider is, what is it that is going to take? What is it going to take for you to get there? So it's not good enough for me to just say, I want to be at the college football games, or I want to visit her in Australia, or, my daughter might end up in Europe somewhere with fashion and really revolutionizing the fashion industry. So how am I going to get there? Because there's no realistic way to say, well, I'm going to need to go to 7 sport games and that's going to cost this much. And, traveling to Europe for this amount of time is going to cost this. It's not really that. It's really like, are you setting yourself up to have that work from anywhere lifestyle? Are you setting yourself up to not just have income, but like be able to live off the interest, right? Are you setting up investments? Are you setting up money that's going to continue to grow for you? Because the things that I just share with you guys, and that's just covering my kids, I just figured that's an easy place that you guys can relate to. But that's just covering my kids. Like, that didn't cover the things that I wanted for myself or for me and my husband or anything else, like how I plan to take care of parents, how I plan to be like the best auntie in the whole wide world. I have a niece headed to college and a nephew headed not even to preschool yet because of COVID, but he's 3. Like I have goals in all these places. So what am I doing now to set myself up for success? So what I want you guys to do is first write down what it is that you want in as much detail as you can think, because that makes it more realistic. And then 2, are there some things you need to do in order to have that? So for example, one of my clients, I was talking to her, and she is the lady behind the wig. I guess this is my shout out show. The lady behind the wig, she deals with women who are on the alopecia spectrum, and they are dealing with hair loss. So she actually does make custom wigs. She actually can give you really great advice on what to do as you are balding, how to embrace the baldness, how to even shave your head, things like that. But she realized that some of the things she wants to do, she needs to go back and get a cosmetology license. I think she had one before, but she understands what that means and what that allows her to do legally. So she knows that, and she knows where she is in life and what it takes to get there. But what a lot of people do is they just have these big dreams and they never break it down to say, what I really want to help people do is this, this, and this, or this is how I want to plan my life. And they don't realize that you need a certificate for that, or you need a degree, or you need a shop. Like maybe there's some things that you need in order to get that done. So that's what I want you to take a look at. Here is the goal. Here's the goal. And what are the bite-sized pieces that are part of that goal that will help you get it done? So consider, is there a certain amount of money that you need to get this done? Is there, and that could be like you need to own your own business. Like the way I see my life, I can't work for somebody else. They would hate me because I just need my time for myself. Knowledge. Do you need school? Do you need a certificate? Do you need to learn a trade? And then maybe location. Like, do you need to be in a certain part of this country or this world to do the things that you want to do, to be in the industries, to make the impact? I want you guys to start thinking through that, because what you want in your life isn't just going to happen for you, right? It takes some planning. It takes some work. And what I know for sure is that if you don't put the plan in place, if you don't put the, if you don't organize yourself to really get it done and think strategically about it, then you definitely will just end up wherever you end up. You're like leaving your life to chance. So it's similar to when you go to college. They tell you to pick a major. And the reason you have to pick a major is because at some point you can't just take general education classes. You've taken enough of those, and now you need to make some decisions and start gearing your college career to that. So that's what I'm kind of getting you to do today, is to figure it out, make some hard choices. And maybe you don't make a decision in every single aspect of your life, but I want you to have a few, like 2 to 3 big goals, and start working backwards to say, okay, well, I need like a flexible work schedule. I need to be debt free. I need to buy my home now so that it is where my kids are establishing these memories that I want us to have 20 years from now. So start thinking through, like, what is this lifestyle that you really want? What I can tell you is, if you do this exercise, like if you actually take the time and do it, you will feel so much better about the work that you have to put in, especially for us entrepreneurs, when you're working for yourself and building up your own income. It just feels like, I understand why I'm doing this. Otherwise, if you're just doing it for money, there's a ton of ways to make money that are way less stressful than starting your own business. So today we touched on your real life goals and some things that you could put in place to get there. So it's creating like what you need as far as like income, knowledge, maybe even location, but what are the factors that go into attaining this goal? I want you to start breaking that down. So first identify what you want, and then start breaking it down so that it gives you some direction quarter after quarter, year after year, so that you actually can see your goals. Or I should say, see them come true, see them come to life. So thank you guys for joining me for Win the Day. I'm live every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are watching from YouTube or the podcast, I appreciate you guys. You rock. If you want to get the podcast, it's 100K Challenge Chick, and you can find it anywhere that you listen to podcasts. The YouTube channel is my name, Tanika D'Souza, business coach, and you can go there and subscribe. You guys have a great day. Think about your future, and let's start knocking some things out now so that we can have what we want 5 years from now. You guys have a great day. Thanks for joining me.